So I'm going to talk about ignorance. Everyone knows, maybe not everyone knows, maybe most people know, maybe some people know, the first noble truth of Buddhism. And that is that it's usually translated as life is suffering, but it's actually all existence is dukkha. And dukkha, which is usually translated as suffering, is this deep unsatisfactoriness. So either we have too much of something, like maybe pain, or we have too little of something, like maybe money. We have too much, we have too little, we're not happy with our life, we're unsatisfied. We're experiencing dukkha, this deep existential dissatisfaction. And it's not just, my life, it's you look around you and you feel this dissatisfaction, these deep, deep, deep dissatisfaction. And that's what made the Buddha leave his comfortable life and go live in the forest and be an ascetic and practice very hard, was he looked around and everything he saw was dukkha. And his question was, how can we eliminate this dukkha? How can we save not just ourselves, but this world from dukkha? And so the second noble truth is the cause of dukkha. And the cause, there are three causes: desire, anger, and ignorance. And ignorance is what I'm talking about today. And ignorance does not mean that you're not a rocket scientist, or you're not a brain surgeon, or you don't know how to build a boat. Ignorance means ignorance of our true nature. And if we say, oh, okay, ignorance means ignorance of our true nature, got it. That's true ignorance. Because ignorance really means that we think we know something, because we actually don't. And we never did, and we never will. So you can say, okay, ignorance means ignorance of our true nature. So then if you're a Theravada Buddhist, Southeast Asian Buddhist, you'll say, oh, true nature, that's impermanence, got it. Next question. And if you're Mahayana Buddhist, that's Northeast Asia, you'll say, oh, ignorance, true nature. True nature, that's emptiness. Got it. Next question? That means you didn't get it. True nature is not something you analyze. It's not something you describe. It's what you are. It's something that you manifest. You don't even attain it because it's already yours. So how do you touch it? How do you manifest it? And ignorance means you're not touching it, you're not manifesting it. Thinking that you know something. Attachment to your thinking. So there's this really bad joke. The last session nobody laughed, which made me feel really good, because it's a really bad joke. When I was a kid, and it was told in a sexist way, so I'll tell it in a classist way. And the idea is that all these educated people are hanging around and they're talking about this Mozart concert they went to, and they're going, Mozart, 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 Mozart. They're talking about Mozart, and this uneducated guy steps in and says, oh, I know Mozart. I saw him on the M15 bus going south on 2nd Avenue the other day. And that's supposed to be funny. Because, this guy doesn't know Mozart. We know who Mozart is. But you know what? We don't know who Mozart is. We're no better than this guy. Maybe he actually has a friend named Mozart. I don't know. So we think we know something. We think, this guy, he doesn't know Mozart. Well, we know who Mozart is. No, we don't. We have no idea who Mozart was. People write books. you know, and they write plays and movies about Mozart. He's an interesting guy. He died young. You know, he was either a really nice guy or a really horrible guy, you know, all this kind of stuff. But, you know, we don't really know. We don't even know who we are. So how can we know who Mozart is? So this mind before thinking, this don't know mind. And we think it's something very strange and difficult and mystical, but we have it. We had it when we were born. Did you ever see a baby being born? So you think a baby's born with its eyes closed. It's not. They open their eyes right away. And they look around. Wow. They just look around. And they have no idea. They have no thinking. They're just taking it all in. Whoa. They don't know color or sound or shape or smell. They're just taking it all in. And you ever see like a deer suddenly realizes, whoa, there's something going on here. And they stop, because you're there, right? They stop. Whoa. What's this? Whoa. That mind, it's ours. We have it. Any other kind of mind is ignorance mind. But that mind is not ignorance mind. So ignorance means thinking that we know something. Then the door comes down, you know, like those big steel doors in jails, comes down. And then there we are, trapped in our own mind. And that's how we live most of our lives. That's how we live our lives. So that's what ignorance is. So there's this wonderful koan. So in the Zen tradition, we also do sutra study, but mostly we do this literature of these stories that have come down to us, and some of them are contemporary. They're mostly interactions of teachers and students, but there are other forms, and they're called koans in Japanese and kongans or kongans in Korean and Chinese. And there are these collections of them, and there's this wonderful koan that I'd like to tell you. It's called Everyday Mind is the Path. So this young monk who later became the great master Joju, this is around 9th century China, and his teacher's Namchan, and Joju's a young monk, and he says to his teacher Namchan, he says, what is the true way? Which is a reasonable thing for a young monk to ask his teacher, what is the true way? And Namchan says, everyday mind is the true way. And Joju says, then should I try to keep it or not? And Namchan says, if you try to keep it, already you are mistaken. And Joju says, if I do not try, how can I understand the true way? And Namchan says, the true way is not dependent on understanding or not understanding. Understanding is delusion. Not understanding is blankness. If you completely attain the true way of not thinking, it is like space, clear and void. And then Namchan throws in this little curveball. He says, then why do you make right and wrong? Which is a topic for another Dharma Talk. So, if you completely attain the true way of not thinking, it is like space, clear and void. Ha! So, in that moment, before your mind clamped shut and said, oh, it's that crazy lady shouting, must be a Zen thing. In that moment before that, that mind, before you've got it categorized, before you've got it all tiny and wrapped up in a little bow, before you think you know what it is, in that moment, that mind, any other mind is ignorance mind. So how do we contact this clear mind, this don't know mind, this mind that has not snapped shut? In our lives where we have to think, we have to do all this stuff, we have to categorize, we have to plan, we have to do all this stuff, but we can always do it from that place. We can always contact that place that we all have, which is open and clear, like space, clear and void. So the great master Muman, who compiled a collection of Kangens called the Muman Kwan, which is very famous, he wrote this poem: words cannot show truth. Speech cannot point into nature. One who holds words is dead. One who attaches to sentences is lost. Before speech, before thinking, that mind, that mind is your true self. Thank you.